You wake up, put on your Ray-Ban Meta glasses. You're living all in. You realize you need coffee. So you say,
"Hey, Meta, how do I make a latte?"
Brew 2 shots of espresso.
After Meta AI gets you caffeinated, you're ready for some beats.
"Hey, Meta, play hip-hop music."
You head to meet some friends, but can't remember the place.
"Hey, Meta, call Eva."
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, the next generation of AI glasses. Just say, "Hey, Meta," to harness the power of Meta AI. Shop now at meta.com/smartglasses.
Happy feelings in the air indeed, and welcome to 9 to noon at FM 100.3 KFAN. I'm Paul Allen. Eric Nordquist is the producer of 9 to noon and the master mixer of the morning montage, and happy feelings in the air indeed. And the Happy Meal served yesterday was delivered in green and gold wrapping. And my, oh my, it sure tasted good.
Take care, Polly Wally.
14-2 leads to happy feelings. A quarterback becoming the first in the history of the National Football League to win 14 in his first season in new colors. Those are happy feelings. Covenant clap, Sam the man on the fan. Nice job. Woo. Good job. Great job. Great job. First in the history of the NFL. Happy feelings all up in here. And happy feelings in the air when 6 days from today, you get a crack at the top seed in the NFC and playoff home games at U.S. Bank Stadium. Hey! Hey!
So good.
When Sam Darnold was elevated, I didn't have the audio on. A bunch of kids screaming, I'm sure. Kevin O'Connell tomorrow at 11 o'clock to talk about it. When he was elevated, all I could think of was, he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, and nobody can deny. Man, that was a happy scene in the locker room yesterday. And top seed in the NFC, at stake against those kiddies. That's a 7:20 boom. 7:20 boom, 5 o'clock for the pregame Sunday. It's a life changer. Come on with this football team. 9 in a row, 4 KO. 9 in a row, 4 KO, and 9 in a row, 4 B flow. 9 in a row, 4 B flow, and 9 in a row, 4 Sir Poe. 9 in a row, 4 Sir Poe. 14 wins, covenant claps all over the place. Hey, that's what we're doing here now. As we take our super sneaky microphone to the Green Bay Packers locker room after getting swept by everything purple and gold for the first time since 2017, are we hearing for he's a jolly good fellow? Hey. Oof. Hey. Jeez. Come on! Let them crickets roll.
Tough times.
All right, 3-2. The Minnesota Moving Company was mostly terrific for Sam Darnold. Cavernous pockets, though, and Sam has thrown for 35 touchdowns. Started the celebratory locker room drive-bys after the game yesterday with a couple of offensive linemen, and Garrett Bradbury and Blake Brandell are the first two. And with those guys, but specifically 5-6 out of the gate, I'm like, on the screen touchdown, you wiped out two guys to get Akers in. Well, actually, you wiped out one and kind of chipped another, but this is radio, so nobody can actually see it at this moment. And it sounds better than chipping somebody. And it paved the way for Cam, the man on the fan.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a screen that the coaches put in this week. And we love screens up front. Get the big guys out in space, making plays. And Cam Akers, once he gets out in the open field, we know he's going to make a couple guys miss. So that was huge. I mean, once you're in that low red, medium red zone area, you got to get 6. You got to get a touchdown there. And so that was huge, especially after they had scored a touchdown, I believe. So taking the momentum right back, and that was a lot of fun.
And Blake, what was the game like for you? Because that Kenny Clark, TJ Slayton, I mean, that front they put out there is one of the better you're going to see all year, right?
No doubt. Yeah, it was certainly a grinder, but we knew that kind of going in, especially playing them for the second time, and talented group up front, so makes the win feel that much better.
And let's finish with these two. You can handle CJ Ham. We'll let Garrett lead the Cam Akers fan club for the final one. When you're trying to grind the clock, get them to use their timeouts, 2-minute warning and everything. Here's play action and a little bit of a boot by Sam Darnold. I mean, C.J. Ham's wide open for a first down. I mean, how much do you think you caught them off guard with that call?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just playing to win. And, you know, in a sense, they're expecting the run and they respect our run game. And so for that to open up like that is it's awesome. Yeah.
And you had a great game. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Blake Brandell. And finally, Garrett, Cam Akers, kind of the same thing. So CJ gets that first down before the 2-minute warning. But you're going to run, of course, make them chew timeouts, probably between the tackles. Who knows? And here's another play action from under center. And this time it's Cam Akers. Now, this pass was down by his shoelaces. And Cam had to make an awesome catch.
I think that play lasted 30 seconds for everyone in that stadium. But no, that's Coach O'Connell. That's trust in us up front, trust in Sam to make the right decision. Because like you said, everyone in the building thinks you're going to run it. But here we come with play action, and the ball's in the air, and we're just all like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And we knew Cam was going to come down with it. He came out to start that drive and said, let's end it, boys.
Hey, and you guys have won 9 in a row, but Sam Darnold, how about this? Only quarterback in the history of the NFL to win 14 games in his first season with a new team. I mean, forget all of the speculation and opinions and everything from Carolina and the Jets and all that into the season. I mean, that's all water under the proverbial bridge. He's been unbelievable, hasn't he?
Unreal. We could care less what anyone else thinks of him. We're happy we got him. He's playing absolutely lights out. He's fun to play for. He's fun to play with. And we'll ride with that guy any day.
The Lions next week for the 1 seed in the conference. Good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Garrett Bradbury, thank you very much, Blake. Appreciate you, and Happy New Year, all right?
Happy New Year. Appreciate you.
Blake Brandell, left guard, and Garrett Bradbury, center, to begin the drive-bys after the Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers by 2 points. Holy cow, just real quick. I mean, everybody in the world thinks you're going to run. Right before the 2-minute warning, we're going to, make them chew timeouts and everything. Play action, CJ left hash, and there you go for a key first down. I mean, how exciting was that?
It was real exciting. I mean, obviously, any opportunity to go get the ball is fun, but we were able to execute and get the first down and, help close out the game.
You've been around here longer than most. 9 wins in a row. What do you love about this team overall?
Garrett Bradbury. But I mean, this team is special. There's everybody on this team truly believes. There's no doubt in our mind when we go out there, and it's just that sense of confidence is great.
Great job as usual. God bless you, my man.
Thank you, brother.
C.J. Ham with a massive first down nearing the end of the game to help pave the way for a Minnesota Vikings 2-point victory over the Green Bay Packers. And in doing so, the Vikings have won 9 consecutive games and are 14-2. And speaking of the number 2, let's roll on over here to one of my favorites for a drive-by, Stephon Gilmore. You played the game I did, and you sit down. My voice is ragged, but physically speaking, just like how this thing worked out for you, with what Green Bay had to offer offensively compared to what you saw and accomplished, what did you think of the game?
It was we started well. They got a great team, and Jordan Love is a great quarterback. We was able to shut him down the first half to the third quarter, but at the end, he made some plays, and we was able to make more plays than they did.
Now Stephon, last one here on these drive-bys. You've been on some good teams during your career. In fact, in 2019, Stephon had a couple of defensive touchdowns and also was Defensive Player of the Year. So you've been on some good squads and some good defenses. Just overall, this team's won 9 consecutive and wins 14 games in a season for the first time since 1973. What are some things overall that you love about this team?
Unselfish. We don't really care who make plays, as long as we make plays, and that's what it's about. We got a lot of playmakers on this team that play for each other and believe in each other. Got great coaches, so it's been good.
Great having you in the mix. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephon Gilmore, cornerback for the Minnesota Vikings. 2-point winners over the Green Bay Packers. Blake, we should do that pregame interview a day a game a little more frequently, right? I mean, sack and a half, I believe, and led the team in tackles. I mean, you were all over the place, man. Did the game work out the way you thought it would?
Yes and no. When you have a finish like we did, at least defensively, I think we all hold ourselves to a high standard, so I just keep, replaying the plays that I think we should have been better on, what I should have been better on. But overall, that felt like a playoff game. It's against a divisional opponent who, we could very well see in the playoffs again. So I'm just glad we came out to win. We finished that game out as a team, and we just got to keep it rolling, and I think do a better job overall finishing. But I'm very happy that we swept Green Bay.
Right, for the first time since 2017. Last one on the drive-by for Blake Cashman. He's hard to sack. I mean, for myriad reasons. He's only been sacked 11 times into this game, and you guys got him 3. Dallas Turner got him for his 3rd also. So that to say, he's only been sacked 3 times, twice this season. What makes him so difficult to get?
It's really impressive when you watch the tape what J Love does. He'll have guys rushing, getting into his feet into the pocket, and he kind of is dangerous with the ball style. He holds it out, but he's able to extend plays and get rid of the ball just in time. But he's very patient in the pocket, and that's what makes him very good too, because he lets those plays develop, and as we all know, when you're able to stand in there and coverage can break down, you can find the open guy. But I thought we did a good job at pressing the pocket today, guys. Getting in there and at least making him feel it. Maybe rushing throws, because there were some throws that were in the dirt today, and all that impacts the quarterback.
Fantastic work. Thank you for the pregame chat and the drive-by. Will you watch Detroit tomorrow night or wait for the All-22?
I'll definitely watch the game tomorrow. This is a big one, and we all know how important it is. But it'll be interesting to see what the team does. Dan Campbell says that he's going to play all of his guys, but no matter what the result of the game has no bearing on the outcome of our game. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. But why not watch the game? Because you gotta watch film. It's film study, anyways. Get a jump start.
Great job, my brother. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Blake Cashman, and a drive-by after the Vikings beat the Green Bay Packers by a couple of points, and moved to 14-2. The 14 victories again for Sam Darnold, the most by a quarterback in the history of the National Football League in his first year playing with a new team. And Darnold threw 3 touchdowns today. One went to Jordan Addison, the other to Jalen Naylor. And also Cam Akers on a really, really nice screen left. We heard from Garrett Bradbury earlier, and Bradbury had a couple of blocks on that screen that were super key because that second block is what sprung Akers into the end zone. Speaking of running backs, let's roll over here and say hello to Cam Akers. Let's chat with Ty Chandler first. Hey man, doesn't matter how you play, when you play. Well, it matters how you play, but when you play. But you got in the game with some speed and everything, and that was a very, very cool 2-point victory. How you feel about everything?
I feel great about everything, man. Big shout out to the O-line, everybody involved, man. The ability to go out and execute. And finish. That was the main thing. So grateful for the win. Great team win, man. So it was truly a blessing.
And Ty, how about your running back stable? I mean, let's put C.J. Ham in there too. He's a fullback. We're gonna, everybody in the world thinks you're gonna run, make them use their timeouts, 2-minute warning, and everything. First play action to C.J. Ham, uncovered left flat, big first down. C.J. Cam, who had a touchdown and an awesome catch after the 2-minute warning down by his shoelaces. Aaron Jones and you. I mean, that's a heck of a stable, man.
Man, first off, just a great room. First thing, great guys, man. Just we come in trying to get each other better, man, and encouraging each other, breathing life into each other, man, and just see it all come to fruition and go out there and be able to execute. It's truly a blessing. But great room all the way around. I can't say enough about those guys and the respect and love I got for them. So it was great.
Will you watch the Lions on Monday Night Football, given you're going for the 1 seed next game, or you going to wait for the All-22?
Oh, no, I'm always watching.
I appreciate you, Ty. God bless.
Thank you. God bless.
Yep, that's Ty Chandler, running back for the Minnesota Vikings, part of a 2-point victory over the Green Bay Packers at U.S. Bank Stadium. And locker room starting to empty out a little bit here. Let's see if we can find one more drive-by before we depart and take on Detroit next game. playing for the 1 seed. And let's wrap it up here. Quick little drive-by. Cam Bynum, how are you? Harrison Smith, how are you? Cam, how'd the game work out for you today? You got a chance to do another bit in the end zone, man. They pop up organically week by week.
Yeah, it happened quicker than we thought it would, but we had to be ready for our moment. It wasn't the cleanest dance we've had, so we got to get back in the lab and work on that. And also, just like the way the defense played for majority of the game, we got to clean up the end, but it was an entertaining game for us because we knew it was going to be a battle.
Let me ask you this to close your part of the drive-by, and I appreciate the time. When Green Bay won the toss and took the ball, did that surprise you?
No, we see that as a sign of disrespect, and we knew that was the energy they're going to come with today, and we knew we got to start hot too, so we got to turn over the first few plays of the game, and we shut that down quick and knew that it was going to be one of those games where it's going to be a battle.
9 in a row. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Harrison, thanks for sitting down for a second. I just got a question to ask you, man, and maybe you don't have the answer to it. That penalty that they called on you in the first half, ain't nobody trying to get anybody fined here, but Bursich and I watched the replay a million times. We just didn't understand it. Do you?
Outside the tackle box, you can't go low, and I don't know exactly how that's defined. It is what it is. They called it. Move on.
Will you watch the Lions-Niners tomorrow night or wait for the All-22?
Yeah, I'll watch it. I normally watch Monday Night Football, so no matter who's on.
Now, you've been going against Sam Darnold since organized team activities. Forget whatever narrative anybody wanted to present into the season about what he did with Carolina and the Jets, which truly didn't matter at that point, doesn't matter now. He has 14 wins, man. He's the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to win 14 games in his first season with a new team. I mean, that's amazing. What do you notice about him behind the scenes, or maybe when you're witnessing some things in practice?
I would say just generally since the day he got here, he's been himself. He's always had plenty of talent and playmaking ability, and that's what shows up on game day. It's preparation and a little bit of guts when everything's on the line. So it's not surprising to us. He's playing at an extremely high level, and it's a lot of fun to watch and be a part of. But he's one of the guys, man. And we know he's gonna go out there and lay it on the line and make a bunch of plays, and he's a ton of fun to play with.
Last one, thank you, Harrison. Best team, I would say, for which you've played in your decade plus. I mean, look at the record, man. It's 14-2. They've won 9 in a row. They win 9 in a row for the first time since 1973. So I'm not going to make you compare teams or anything. I'm just going to ask you overall about this team. Offense, defense, Will Reichard, Ryan Wright, special teams, the whole thing. What are some qualities about this team that sustain, that you just really, really like?
There's a lot of things. I probably can't touch on all of them, but so overall belief and trust in the process and how we prepare and how we play, our style of play, paired with very good coaches across the board and smart players and players that enjoy playing together and can make plays at a lot of different positions. It's not just Jets. He's an obvious one to point at as the superstar. He is probably the best player I've been around. But there's a lot of really, really good players just across the board, and comes together well when we need it to.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much, Harrison.
Thanks, Pierre.
Harrison Smith and Cam Bynum, safeties for the Minnesota Vikings. All right, let's. You mind if I ask one question real quick, Jonathan? Jonathan Grenard, okay? Now, Van Ginkel had a half sack, Cashman at 1.5, the rookie Dallas Turner at 1. So if you go to box score chasing and you look at like Jonathan Grenard stats, you'd be like, okay, okay. But early in the game, correct me if I'm wrong, man, you put a hit on Jordan Love. That was a legal hit, and it was a hard hit. And I think it changed him for a little bit, or changed their play calling with the 5 and 7 step drops. Did you sense that?
Yeah, they definitely changed the way they had to set, or quarterback had to set. But other than that, I just know that, I mean, if we didn't get him down on the ground, he was going to try to make some type of dynamic throw. But we had a good game plan for him, and ultimately we just pretty much executed whenever we seen a weakness throughout the O-line. So we're just going to continue to exploit all the weaknesses anytime we get one, and hopefully get a result. I hope we get him down a little bit more.
So in closing, I'm going to ask you, did this thing work out the way you thought it would? Because I know you probably thought you would win. However, being a perfectionist, man, and having Super Bowl aspirations, and why wouldn't you? The team's 14-2. The points they got up late, and some yards they got late, kind of like Lambeau Field. I mean, you guys were the better team, but it got a little closer than it should have, right?
Once again, we just got to make sure we finish out. Don't let our foot off the gas. You know, leaving teams like that with confidence, there leaves a little hope for them. Kind of similar like last game, like you just mentioned. They were coming to this game thinking it was going to be sweet, thinking that it was going to be just, we barely beat them. Well, they barely beat us last time at their house. That they were going to come in here and just run it over and just finish off what they wish they had more time to do last time. But pretty much we just know now we're going to keep playing our game, keep executing, keep dominating, shutting all that shit down. But ultimately they had to come through us and come to our house, so we finished it.
You're awesome, man. 9 in a row for you guys, man. 14-2. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go. Job's not done yet, though. We got to finish out.
Will you watch the Lions tomorrow night or wait for the All-22?
I'll watch them a little bit, man. You know, I ain't got nothing else to do. Eat some chicken wings and watch the game a little bit. You know, get ready for our opponent. It's going to be great.
It's awesome having you on the team, man. Thank you.
Love being here. Greatness. Love
Jonathan Grenard, let's close it up with 30 seconds with the Gink. The Gink is on fire. Andrew Van Ginkel. Will you watch tomorrow night's game or wait for the All-22?
Oh yeah, I'll check into it and kind of see what they're, what they're running and kind of how their game plan, and just try to get a feel for how they attack early on, and then just throughout the game if they make adjustments or kind of, their scheme.
How did they play you today? Offensively, it seems like in certain situations they identified you and were like, 43 man, we got to take him out of the equation. Did you feel that way?
I just think we got, guys all around that can make plays. JG on the other side. Then we got pass rushers inside, whether it's Pat. I pray that he's all right. And then Dallas Turner coming in, stepping up and getting a big sack. And when you got inside backers and then guys covered in the back end, it allows you to, rush free and use your playmaking to make plays.
Let me close with Dallas Turner. He had a pick in that Seattle game. He now has 3 sacks. And it seems to be coming on quickly at the right time near the end of the year. Now, my man's 21 years of age. And as you know better than anybody, this game is not easy. What have you seen from Dallas that has clicked nearing the end of the year?
He's maturing. He's growing. And you can see the way that he attacks practice. He's constantly making plays. He's developing and he's embracing his role, and he's taking all the information in, and which is allowing him to go out there and trust his instincts, be accountable, and be in positions that he's allowed. And ultimately, those allow you to make plays, and you see it showing up on game days.
And last one, Andrew, thank you for the time. I know Kevin O'Connell preaches one-game seasons. You were 1-0 in this Green Bay game, 2-0 against them this year. You swept them for the first time since 2017. The next 1-0 opportunity is at Ford Field. When it is an obvious, hey guys, game by game here, 1-0 each game. When a coach takes that approach, how well does it resonate with you and why?
It just starts early in the season. We come in, we have, a dogfight, we have a street fight, and, KO did a good job of just not looking beyond that next game. And when you can just go in and you start with the Giants, and then the next game is the 49ers, who are supposed to be all powerful, and then the Texans with a lot of hopes, and then it's just so on and so on. And when you just attack one game at a time and not worry about what's going to happen at the end of the season, what the standings are going to be, how Detroit's doing, Green Bay, great division, all that. It doesn't matter unless you're winning. And I think we did a good job of going 1-0, and I know that's, coach speak, and, but it starts with throughout the week, practicing well, preparing well, and then that carries over into the game, and ultimately allows you to go 1-0 each year or each week.
The Gink is on fire. All right, it's 9:28 in the neighborhood, and courtesy of TimberTech and TimberTech.com. What's on deck 9 to noon? This exuberant, energetic version of 9 to noon includes the Sultan of Smug, David Sinykin, joining about 9:50, for those wondering. And Vikes Bites are next. Good morning. You're listening to 14-2 Radio. It's 9 to noon at FM 100.3. KFAN.
You wake up, put on your Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Classic style, innovative tech. You're living all in. You realize you need coffee, desperately. So you say,
Hey, Meta, how do I make a latte?
To make a latte, brew 2 shots of espresso.
after Meta AI gets you caffeinated, You start walking to work, and you need a soundtrack.
Hey Meta, play hip-hop music.
With the built-in camera, you snap a pic of a dope mural on the side of a building that you think is worth sharing.
Hey Meta, text my last photo to Eva.
Sending message.
After work, you head to meet some friends.
Hey, nice glasses.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, the next generation of AI glasses. Just say, hey Meta, to harness the power of Meta AI. Listen to music, make hands-free calls with open-ear audio and built-in microphones, and so much more. All while staying present to the world around you. Shop Ray-Ban Meta glasses at meta.com/smartglasses.
Vikes Bites.
Yeah, we got some Vikes Bites, 14-2 radio.
14-2 radio. Vikes Bites is brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef.
Beefy.
Box of meat shows up at your doorstep. You can shop online. Otherwise, local Coburn's locations, local co-ops, they're proud sponsors of Gophers Athletics. And they're all about supporting local, as in the maroon and gold and the purple and gold. But they're a Clearwater, Minnesota company. So you can support local by eating yourself some delicious beef from Thousand Hills. PA, I want to start here. Now, I don't have the play that I'll ultimately talk about here, but it was cool to see Cam Akers get in the end zone.
Sam Darnold goes out of the shotgun. Cam Akers joins him to his left. Jefferson left, three receivers right. Akers jumps to the right, now back to the left. Darnold out of the shotgun, takes the snap, swings it to Akers, turns it up to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! Cam Akers with his third touchdown this season, and Minnesota responds beautifully and opens up the lead 26-10.
Nice move on the touchdown. 6 carries, 18 yards. Then that reception there, part of a couple of catches for Cam Akers. It sounded like Aaron Jones, head coach Kevin O'Connell, in the post game, those videos, the team speeches that are becoming quite viral after, all games, but specifically the last 9 in a row for KO. He mentioned that it sounds like number 33 might have been a little sore. That's how he referenced it, as ultimately he gave Aaron Jones a game ball for surpassing 7,000 rushing yards in his career.
Mm-hmm.
But how about, and you talked a bit about it during the drive-bys last night. I did get this text as a quick aside. Nordo, you have the Jordan flu game. You have Jack Youngblood playing with a broken leg. And now PA's gritty drive-by performance from last night. Well done. Well done, young man. That's Clayton from Rochester.
Thank you, Clayton. Love you.
But you talked about it there. How about the shoestring catch?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, into that final drive, there's frustration, there's ire at times in terms of the Vikings having to end some of these games with the defense on the field. So how do you avoid that? With 2:18, 2:19 left, you get the 2-minute warning. They have all 3 timeouts. The Packers do.
Yeah.
You start out with the play to C.J. Ham. That goes 13, 14 yards into the 2-minute break. And on third down, you absolutely need it. You can just run it 3 times into the dust and punt it and just depend on your defense. Defense has come up big at times. But the play by Cam Akers and having to catch it off his shoestrings, it was a beautiful moment. Move the chains, kneel on it, get out alive. Cam Akers last night, he's so smooth and we needed him.
You would have been guaranteed. I laughed when you were talking because it triggered me to think of something last night with these drive-bys. Now the drive-bys last night, it was different. There's a lot more people in the locker room.
Yeah,
it's 14-2 radio. So I mean, we
a lot going on.
We have 5 writers in there now. We got like 35 people. I bumped into somebody, so I see Cam Akers. All right, and off the microphone, I look at him and I go, "The shoestring catch," and I'm going to walk up to do a drive-by. And running backs give stiff arms. The stiff arm I got from Cam Akers, and because he was doing a radio interview on his phone.
Oh, he was,
and I didn't notice it. I was just the shoestring catch, and then I went to walk up to him, and I think
it was Uncle Gene down in Tallahassee.
I don't know.
He was talking with Uncle Gene Deckeroff.
I don't know, but I got a stiff arm from Cam. It was a very difficult catch to make. Not exactly sure why Sam short-armed it or short threw it. But Akers kind of saved things there. And really the beautiful thing with that Akers catch, which followed C.J. Ham's The piece of offensive mastery where everybody in the world knows you're going to run and chew the clock and make them use timeouts, and you go play action, bootleg out to the left. There's the beef eater, C.J. Ham, the battering ram, wide open first down. The beautiful thing about Ham and Akers and the way that took place is because the Vikings succeeded and got first downs and buried Green Bay, but they didn't run.
I always love that one.
Which means people have reason for consternation into the next game to figure out why we can't run.
I always love that.
Or why we don't run.
I always love that one.
It was a perfect storm.
Can you tell me, first of all, Ham and Akers, a couple of Ham and Eggers out there taking advantage of opportunities when given.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about this with Ron on Fanline. I'm just kind of done with the really wish KO would run in these spots. Hey, did you notice that they're a 70% throwing team on 3rd and short?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of just done with that because you constantly are balancing, well, they weren't aggressive enough in this spot, and Jordan Love and LaFleur, they're a good team. They have a right to score too. So your lack of aggression in this spot led them to get back into the game.
Yeah.
But then there will be moments you run against the, most, in fairness, most defensive lines. This Vikings team for years, as a Minnesota moving company, has had trouble just opening gates and allowing our running backs to move 2, 3, 4 yards when we absolutely need them.
Right.
But then in that spot, if you get stuffed in your punting, well, somebody was wide open out of the flat. We had the wide open grab there. It's such a weird, it's based on perception. It's hindsight. It's success.
I think it would be.
I'm just done complaining.
Not somebody's open. Why didn't you throw? I think it would be, you're a throw first team. Now all of a sudden you're going to be student body left and run it 80% of the time.
Exactly.
It's an age as Kevin O'Connell's run with the Minnesota Vikings goes. And he's through 51 games, I believe, including the playoff game. It's been a case with people. I don't think people are mad, but it provides wonderment. And it's a pass first team, so everybody knows that. The passing game is very, very good. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
O'Connell et al., O'Connell and crew are good at catching teams off guard. I think we all know that. And we also know, with all due respect, you just can't be 10 of 10 at everything. So the interior of the Vikings offensive line, when it comes to moving TJ Slayton, Kenny Clark, and then what they were doing with Edger and Cooper, I mean, I'd throw too. And that's with all due respect to what we have in the middle. But, so what do they have in the middle? They have Bradbury busting butt to get out to the left on the Acre screen and take care of 2 guys.
Yep.
Because if he doesn't take care of 2 guys, then Cam doesn't get in. So that's what Reisner, Brandell to a certain extent, and Bradbury's high end at it and has been all of his career. That's what they do. It's a Minnesota movement company.
Absolutely. Vikes Bites!
Nordo's numbers, though.
Brought to you by, well, I do have some numbers, and hopefully we'll get to that.
Yeah.
In the world of underrated aspects of the game, I also found Jerry Tillery being lauded in the locker room last night, PA, and if it's blocking field goals, if it is the punch out last night. He just kind of had just some old school clubbing to him where he just smashed Jacobs.
Right.
And that ball popped out. But if you're looking for morsels and looking for crumbs and bits that say, man, this team really like each other, whether it's the celebrations, those are more obvious as they're in your face. The TV broadcast references that it's happening and then just didn't show any of Cam Bynum's celebration last night.
Really?
That's a huge L.
Well, it's kind of an
absolutely.
A topic with the Minnesota Vikings when 24's in the end zone.
So when I get synced up and I'm waiting for you, I got the TV rolling. Mm-hmm. I want to see the celebration while I'm hearing you say, this is the Vikings Radio Network, and then you go, driven by Polaris. And then we go to break. I'm waiting for the celebration. It never happens.
Never happens.
But guys like Jerry Tillery, Jalen Naylor, a lot of excitement around him where it's all about JJ. It's all about Addison. Well, number 83 muffs a punt earlier this year. He's up and down. There's a touchdown every game early, and then it's crickets. How wide open was he? They saw something and just brilliantly went tempo and just daggered it. I mean, it was an awesome play.
Right.
But the guys like the Tillerys of the world showing up, the guys like the Tillerys of the world being lauded in the respect they are, just kind of speaks a little bit in terms of just how much these guys love playing football together.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell could have a nickname of Dr. Frankenstein. Now, it wouldn't work because it takes too long to explain. But him and his staff take reclamation projects and turn them into monsters. Sam Darnold, Tillery Dillery Doc, Jalen Redmond. I mean, I don't even know if he was a reclamation project, but I mean, you talk about somebody playing big from under the cover of darkness. There are several others. Cam Akers, too, off the two Achilles. So that's Jerry Tillery, considered a first-round bust when he was drafted by the Chargers. And now he's clubbing balls out from Josh Jacobs, blocking field goals at Soldier Field, all under the tutelage of Dr. Frankenstein.
That's Vikes Bites. I'll have some more for you during News to
Love
Nord.
it.
Thank you, as always, to Thousand Hills Lifetime Graze grass-fed beef.
Now, coaching malpractice may be transpiring this evening in Monday Night Football, and David Sinykin, who is the head cheese, the Sultan of Smug, will execute the border battle with us, all in the next segment when we return to 9 to noon on KFAN.
You wake up, put on your Ray-Ban Meta glasses. Classic style, innovative tech. You're living all in. You realize you need coffee, desperately. So you say,
Hey, Meta, how do I make a latte?
To make a latte, brew 2 shots of espresso.
after Meta AI gets you caffeinated, you start walking to work, and you need a soundtrack.
Hey, Meta, play hip-hop music.
With the built-in camera, you snap a pic of a dope mural on the side of a building that you think is worth sharing.
Hey, Meta, text my last photo to Eva.
Sending message.
After work, you head to meet some friends.
Hey, nice glasses.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, the next generation of AI glasses. Just say, hey, Meta, to harness the power of Meta AI. Listen to music, make hands-free calls with open-ear audio and built-in microphones, and so much more. All while staying present to the world around you. Shop Ray-Ban Meta glasses at meta.com/smartglasses.
The analyst for the Vikings Radio Network, Pete Bursage, coming up about 10, 15 minutes from now.
Here we go, Paul!
And right around the corner,
The head cheese.
the Sultan of Smug, David Sinykin, will be joining us. Now, the Detroit Lions play the San Francisco 49ers tonight. We can all scout the Lions and watch that game. And the only thing that matters for the Detroit Lions is that they get no guys hurt. I mean, that is so polarizingly obvious. So how will Coach Dan Campbell treat it? I mean, like 20 guys on the IR, studs like Hutchinson, Anzalone, Aleem McNeil, David Montgomery, etc., out for the season. Discretion is the better part of valor tonight, right, Coach? Here's what Dan Campbell said Saturday when asked, hey, if the Vikings win and Week 18, not the Niners game, means the most, will you sit guys on Monday Night Football? And here's what Campbell said.
Yeah, I'll make this easy for everybody. That way all the critics can jump out and start attacking. But that way you don't have to debate them anymore. We're bringing everything we got to this game, and we are playing, and I don't care what it looks like and where it's at or who's this, who's that. We're going out to play and win this game out on the West Coast. So there you go.
That's Dan Campbell. So you can read between the lines on that, we're going to do what it takes to win this game. We'll see if the likes of Jahmyr Gibbs, I mean, here's the deal. It's fair to say, with all due respect, is it fair to say he's a fool if, let's say, Jahmyr Gibbs, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Laporta, Jameson, all starting offensive linemen, Terry and Arnold, the nice safeties, if those guys see the field, is it fair to say this is major coaching malpractice if he plays his best guys? I mean, give them a baby bye. When the take could be, yeah, but a lot of components are new because of these injuries, and we want them to stay sharp into the 1 seed game. Right, but I mean a little baby bye and some rest into that 1 seed game. That's not a bad idea for the Kitties either. I mean, in fact, when they had the bye earlier this year, they came out of it fresh and almost beat Dallas by 50. Meanwhile, it's going to take place tonight, and I'm very, very curious to see what transpires with the Lions' approach against the Niners. Meanwhile, it is now post time for the border battle. Into the game, sacked only 11 times this season. He's been sacked twice today. Cashman has 1.5. Van Ginkel has a half. Tucker Kraft, who can be a menacing presence, in motion to the left. 1st and 10 from the Green Bay 38. Minnesota blitzes Byron Murphy Jr., but is picked up. Love. He's sacked by Dallas Turner. And the rookie takes down Jordan Love. It'll be 2nd and 18.
The Head Cheese.
Hi, David.
Good morning, Paul.
David Sinykin at TC Head Cheese via the tweet machine. It's the weekly border battle. And before we border battle, if you were a Lions fan, David, and Dan Campbell played any of his best guys tonight, would you be upset?
Yeah, I would be, but I wouldn't be surprised because that's the way he rolls, right? You know, he doesn't want to lay down ever. But yeah, there's absolutely no reason to play his guys except to make the network Gucci's happy. Tempting fate, but that's what Dan Campbell's all about.
The Head Cheese.
What happened yesterday?
Got beat up pretty bad on both sides of the ball. I was very disappointed in the Packers' offensive game plan. Not having Christian Watson's one thing. It certainly allows B-Flow to game plan differently and just man up his guys and see if Green Bay's receivers can beat him without worrying about a deep threat. And I think Packers' offense was not up to the challenge. I was sitting in the end zone. I had a good view of it. There were no Packers open yesterday at all. And for me, that means Matt LaFleur's got to get creative. He's got to, use that creative running game. Have 8 or 9 different guys run the ball like he did a week ago. Use the screen game with Josh Jacobs. Get the tight ends involved if the receivers can't get open. He didn't do any of that. So I was disappointed in the offensive game plan as LaFleur saw what was unfolding. And defensively, I really thought this Green Bay team would. Sam Darnold, he had a couple plays where he moved very well and escaped the pressure, but for the most part, you put him on a 377-yard game because couldn't afford to blitz at all. I mean, Green Bay was down a few guys in the secondary. They didn't have the luxury of sending blitzers, and I think it played right into KOC's hands. So I feel like it's one of those opposites. The game was nowhere near as close as the score indicated. I thought the Vikings dominated on both sides of the ball for most of the night.
David, the Head Cheese, Packer preview in the zone with Double T and Greg Popovich. Were there points of the game where you felt Sam Darnold was toying with your secondary?
Yeah, he pretty much had his way, no doubt. I know it's a small thing. Green Bay lost safety Zane Anderson to a concussion on a special teams play. They had just gotten Javon Bullard back to play the nickel, and now he's got to play safety because Anderson's out. And now you're down 3 guys in your secondary. And so, that's playing right into Kevin O'Connell's hands at that point. And kudos to Sam. I just said it I did 3 hours of Milwaukee radio today. Sam Darnold's playing like the best quarterback in the NFC. And, as much as I bleed green and gold, there is a small part of me, maybe not even that so small, that has to feel so good for Sam Darnold today after 6 years of, being called a bust and not getting the right opportunity. Part of me has to feel really good for where he's sitting right now.
And I haven't watched it back yet. Any idea what happened to Rashawn Gary? I mean, like he didn't leave the game or anything. It's like, but we didn't call his name till the second half.
Yeah, no, to my knowledge, he was out there. None of the pass rushers really were anywhere near effective. And I really expected Green Bay to, obviously you got some good tackles certainly on the right side. But I expected the way Green Bay's front has played of late, to see them being a lot more of a factor. And no, it's been a down year for Rashawn Gary. He's been good the last 5 or 6 weeks. He's usually good on a faster carpet like the bank. But no, he was nowhere near the defensive force he needed to be. And that has been a legit concern all season long.
If you are a Green Bay Packers fan.
In your face, Milwaukee!
Edgerrin Cooper Seriously, how excited are you about? He's going to be a multiple All-Pro one day, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's that one position that Green Bay has just pined for a guy like that. You know, we get taken out of the playoffs every year by the Fred Warners of the world and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, quick, speedy tackling machines at linebacker, and Green Bay's never had one of those guys. And it looks like they finally did hit on one. He is obviously eye-popping. His speed stands out. The one defensive player that brought it play in and play out. Very excited about what that might mean for the middle of this defense that still needs to do some work at the cornerback spot and find some pass rushers that can impact the quarterback without spending extra guys. But, yeah, Cooper is going to be a special player, no doubt.
Lastly, beloved Sultan, your team, and you're an elite football mind. You see the game very clearly, and you always have. Your team has faced the Lions and the Vikings 4 times and lost them all.
You can't talk that way and be taken seriously.
Who do you like Sunday and why, or is it too early?
You talking Vikings-Lions?
Mm-hmm.
I give you guys a really good chance to win that game. I really do. I think Detroit has been susceptible at home this year. You know, they lost at home this year already. They've had some tight battles. We know their defense is banged up. Vikings have to come in confidence-wise at an ultimate high. I think Detroit's going to feel the pressure, and I absolutely expect Minnesota to give Detroit a battle for 60 minutes. And at this point, I wouldn't at all be surprised if you guys emerge as the number 1 seed in the NFC.
David, better luck next week. An early Happy New Year to you and your covenant, and maybe we'll see you in the playoffs, beloved Sultan.
I would love that. Happy New Year, PA. Have a fun week.
Appreciate you. David Sinykin at TC Head Cheese. That is the border battle. Quite the excitable conversation.
Why don't you put your pants back on, Slappy?
The analyst for the Vikings Radio Network, Pete Bursich, is next.
You wake up, put on your Ray-Ban Meta glasses. You're living all in. You realize you need coffee. So you say,
Hey, Meta, how do I make a latte?
Brew 2 shots of espresso.
after Meta AI gets you caffeinated, you're ready for some beats.
Hey, Meta, play hip-hop music.
You head to meet some friends, but can't remember the place.
Hey, Meta, call Eva.
Ray-Ban Meta glasses, the next generation of AI glasses. Just say, hey, Meta, to harness the power of Meta AI. Shop now at meta.com/smartglasses.